My name's Laura. I'm mum to Iolan, who's nearly 5 now. When he was born, we knew he had heart defect, so we knew that we'd have quite a journey ahead of us, but we didn't know quite how things would pan out. He had a couple of minor surgeries in his first few years, and then at 2.5 he had his first open heart surgery, which was supposed to be the surgery that would change our lives, and it did. Not quite as we'd planned. So in the first surgery, he had a stroke not long after it, and then about just short of 2 weeks after the surgery, he went into heart failure. Iolan was rushed back into theatre. Obviously a lot of blood was needed to get him through, and a few months later then he had severe heart failure and ended up on the transplant list. So we were in hospital about 7 months during that time. Then while we were waiting for a new heart, he had to have an artificial heart fitted called a Berlin heart. That is outside the body, so there's a lot of blood volume needed. And when he did get transplanted, of course, a lot of units of blood were needed for that because they had to perfuse a new heart. But the heart didn't take straight away, so he needed a longer term bypass called ECMO. Again, that's outside of the body, so you need the extra blood volume. But yeah, he's had so many units of blood, I honestly couldn't count. One thing I do find quite ironic is that his blood group is B positive. Obviously been a little chuckle to us most of the way through everything. Without people donating blood, there's no way y'all would be here. I've always, since I was old enough, I've always donated. My mum has done it for as long as I can remember, as if my grandparents. It's always been something that's just part of our life. Once you're old enough to give, then we do. We've even got my dad, who passes out at the sight of blood, going down to donate. It is just something that, as a family, even before Iolan and any problems there, it's always been something that, not that we were expected to do, we just didn't think not to. I mean, if you can do it, why wouldn't you? Christmas now can be a bit difficult. This Christmas is our second Christmas since Iolan had his transplant. So of course, it always brings things back. Christmas 2 years ago, Iolan was very, very ill. We didn't know, when we got to Halloween, we didn't know if he'd make bonfire. When he got to bonfire night, we didn't know he'd make his 3rd birthday. He got to his 3rd birthday. We really didn't think he was going to make Christmas. But he did. Every time we had that talk with the surgeons and doctors, he just seemed more determined to prove them wrong. Iolan was permanently in hospital. He was on the intensive care unit and spent Christmas Day in an isolation room. So yeah, Christmas now is so different. We do have, you know, a big family get together. We all sit down, we all have dinner, we all have presents. And it is just a big celebration now, thankfully. He's definitely mischievous. He's pretty much a law unto himself. Anything you tell him not to do, he's more inclined to do it, but he's really funny. He'll do something with a cheekier smile, and although you want to tell him off, you've got to try and stop yourself laughing. He does, of course, get spoiled rotten by certain family members, but you kind of expect that when kids have been through even half of what he's been through. It is difficult sometimes because you think how different things could be. Of course, you don't want to think like that, but when you've been that close, it does still cross your mind how things could have been had people not donated blood, organs, time, all of it. Yes, most of the people that have helped with Iolan are medically trained and highly skilled in their fields, thankfully, but there are the people at home that donated. When you do see where the blood goes, you can see what a difference it does make. Well, thank you's not really enough, is it? But it's kind of all that you can say. I mean, without people donating, Iolan wouldn't be here. There's no way that he would be here. You know, obviously there was a lot of people donated that have kept Iolan here. And so I can only say thank you. These words aren't enough. But it is blood donors that have kept my son with me.